This is competitive mountain bike racing, a sport where riders hurl themselves off massive jumps, careen through narrow tree-lined trails, and fly downhill at eye-watering speeds.
So I started competing when I was like 12, 11 years old. I used to ride downhill.
This is Gustavo Ortiz, a competitive mountain biker and the two-time national champion of his native Chile.
I was Pan American champion, national champion multiple times, and I finished 20th in a World Cup. It was my best result.
But while training in 2017, he had a tragic accident.
I crashed in Whistler and I finished paralyzed from my chest down.
Did you think you would be able to cycle again?
No, it never came to my mind.
Un cœur, un état d'esprit.
Although mountain biking will be an official sport at this year's Olympic Games, it's not yet been made an official sport in the Paralympic Games. That's partially because the bikes needed to race simply haven't existed. Many traditional hand cycles are built to be ridden on the road and feature wide wheelbases. Occasionally, they even place riders kneeling forward. This position puts their center of gravity higher, something that would make sharp turns difficult on a loose dirt mountain bike trail. But a Canadian company think they've developed a solution.
I broke my back in 1996 snowboarding, and prior to that, I loved mountain biking. I loved snowboarding and climbing. I was like a kid who loved the outdoors in Canada, and very early on in my injury, I recognized that I was going to be 100% reliant on technology.
So, a machinist by trade, Christian began building experimental adaptive mountain bikes at home.
The problem was always that I would tip over. Or like I would go fast down a hill and corner and, tip to the outside of the corner.
For years and years, he tinkered with different designs, but nothing worked. So he focused his energy instead on a custom cross-country ski chair that could shift and pivot over undulating snow. It was while skiing that a light bulb went off. If he just flipped the ski setup over, he'd have a system that would allow the wheels to articulate and absorb shocks independently.
The main thing is the articulation. So with that, you can go through skinny sections, you can crawl into rocks, and then if another rock comes, you just move it and it adjusts by itself.
Frame can also absorb big drops, allowing riders to maintain speed through technical sections the same way they would on a standard mountain bike. Aside from its articulating frame, these bikes have a few other unique features that make them especially useful for mountain bikers. Unlike most hand cycles, these bikes operate with two wheels in the front and one in the back. Combined with an upright seating position closer to the ground, riders here can easily shift and pitch their weight to avoid tipping over on sharp turns. The hand cycles also come with pedal assist motors, and there are even fully motorized models as well. Currently, each bike is custom built for the rider and ranges in price anywhere from $13,000 to $20,000. Boed says their bikes are already in 30 countries, and more bikes in more places could help the sport offer meaningful competition and worldwide reach, two requirements to become an official Paralympic game. Even still, Christian says these bikes are helping bring a newfound acceptance for adaptive mountain bike riders.
We're part of cycling now, which is huge for us internally at Boed, but it's way bigger for our customer. Our acceptance is their acceptance.
While it has helped with his racing, Gustavo says this technology has helped him get back and enjoy riding his bike again.
I feel that I'm discovering another kind of riding, because I was so used to just racing, racing. I'm preparing for racing, that now I am just enjoying the process of riding and going for long rides, and learning how to enjoy being in those places. Yeah.
While we're certain a bowhead won't be at this year's Paralympics in Paris, they might just be kicking up a cloud of dust in Los Angeles in 2028.
Now let's head back to Italy, to Lake Como, to the E1 World Electric Powerboat Series.
Now, can anyone spot Alistair?
There he is.
Right now, we're on the gentle, tranquil waters of Lake Como, but all of that is about to be disturbed because it's race day.
And who better to explain to us how this competition works than some of the drivers themselves?
E1 is a brand new racing concept. It's foiling boats with an electric motor in a format that's never been done before.
The course here is basically a big figure of 8, but it's a little bit more complicated with the long lap and the stars and things like that.
So you'll see a series of single point turns and then turns that have larger apexes.
We're racing in some really spectacular locations, on the sea, in lakes, and we're really trying to push the foiling technology to the max.
So every team has a male and a female pilot, and it's up to the team to decide which pilot will go first. After the first race, they'll alternate from there.
Qualifying's done in a single boat format, so we're all about maximising our 1 lap time. And then we go into the semi-finals and the finals, which is head-to-head racing.
The stage has been set. 5 teams are in the final, but who will win? There's only one way to find out.
Definitely in E1, the most challenging part is the starts. Getting those right can really affect the race.
You want to get in the clean water at the front, because as soon as you're behind, you're in the wake of the other boats, and those waves can really interrupt how the foil performs.
Tell when you're having a really good lap because the raceboard has this kind of hum to it when you're really cooking and flying, and it's really unlike anything. It's unlike any boat, any jet ski, any watercraft.
The course is a very simple loop, but those green buoys mark an extra special part of the track, and the teams have to choose very wisely when to take that turn.
You have to take the long lap 1 lap during the race.
You can win and lose races with long laps. If you're at the back, you can do it early and then try to catch the gap back, and you've got some cleaner water in front. If you're at the front, you want to do it last so that you can try to build the gap to the others. So it's a big tactical strategy.
If you nail the timing, depending on where you're at in the pack, you can either pass other pilots or you can stay out in front. So a lot of it has to do with team strategy. The team in the tower is watching where the other boats are at, and they'll help you with your timing.
It's a very much a tactical team thing that we make up as we go. There's no set plan, and it completely depends on where we are during the race, and yeah, it can change in a matter of minutes.
At the end of the day, you know, the teams really have to work together. Both pilots have to be consistent. You know, one pilot can be really fast. If the other one is slower, then it may come down to the wire. So having 2 very consistent pilots that can work together is how you're really going to win.
Let's pop that champagne!
This is a competition that has attracted some big name investors, despite only being in its first year.
But there are challenges ahead. Can it keep those celebrity backers, and can it build a big audience for this high-tech racing?
I think the groundwork for this championship is amazing. You know, the names behind it now are incredible. I've heard some good rumours of teams coming in for next year as well. So I think the format is really exciting. I think a lot of people are really interested and excited about the new technology and also the sustainability message behind the championship. So I hope it continues for many years to come.
That's all for this week from the waters of Lake Como.
Nice work if you can get it.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.